Alright, today is the best holiday of all time, April Fool's, and in honor of that, I will be going over my opinion on every music genre. So let's go. Now, pop songs are pretty catchy, but at the same time, the lyrics of pop songs are so bad that I feel like an absolute loser for listening to pop songs. So pop songs are trash. Now, K-pop songs are like pop songs, so you would think it would be better because the lyrics won't make me feel like a loser because I can't understand them. But for some reason, the lyrics still make me feel like a loser for listening to it, so K-pop is trash. Now, when I think of rock songs, I think of drums and people screaming into the microphone. And that is not a good thing. So rock songs are bad. Now, when I think of punk, I think of people screaming into the microphone, drums, and people being edgy. And that is not a good combination of things, so punk songs are bad. Heavy metal is basically the exact same thing as rock, but instead of drums, it's guitars. And I still don't like it as much. Rap songs are pretty decent, I guess, but I would like rap songs a lot more if they didn't say a swear word every 2 seconds. But other than that, rap songs are actually pretty decent. Yeah, moving on. Classical music is meh. The instrumentation of classical music just doesn't sit with me. It just kind of makes me feel sad. That's the one issue I have with classical music. The instrumentation just doesn't feel good. It just kind of makes me feel sad. Not in a good way, but in a bad way. So classical music is kinda bad. Orchestra music is good because it doesn't have any lyrics. But at the same time, sometimes the instrumentation in orchestra music is pretty bad. But orchestra is actually just fine. I don't hate it, but I won't listen to it on my own time. So orchestra music is fine. Now, instrumental music is good on paper, but no one cares about instrumental music. So yeah, next. Now, choir is absolute trash. Choir songs are just slow and boring. And they make me feel sick for some reason. So I don't like choir that much. Okay, so hip hop is actually pretty good. But the thing is, I won't listen to hip hop on my own time. Why? Because it's bad. Now, jazz music is actually pretty good. Yeah, I actually think it's fairly decent. But I won't listen to it on my own time because I'm just not that type of person. It's good. The instrumentation is pretty good. I just won't listen to it on my own time. So yeah, it gets my rating of kinda good. Okay, now video game music is the only genre of music that isn't trash. Alright? And if you disagree with this, then you're bad. Video game music is the only type of music that's good, especially when it's 8-bit. Now, electronic music slash EDM slash techno slash whatever you call it is basically video game music, but worse. I don't know why it's worse, but trust me, it is worse. Now, dubstep is people screaming into the microphone, but instead of people, it's a machine screaming into the microphone. So dubstep is trash. Now, country is a pretty alright genre, but then again, the instrumentation is kinda bad. Kinda reminds me of classical music. It's good, but the instrumentation is trash. So yeah, country is bad. Now, I don't know much about blues music, but when I think of blues music, it's usually a pretty good song. So even though I don't know much about it, I actually think it's pretty good. Yeah. Next. Now, like blues music, I don't know anything about reggae music, but when I think about it, it's usually a pretty good song. So I actually think it's pretty good, even though I barely know anything about it. Now, funk music, I pretty much have the exact same thoughts about it as the last two. I don't know much about it, but when I think about it, the song is pretty good. So yeah, I also think this one's pretty good. Yep. Now, disco music is boring, and no one cares about disco music, so let's move on. Now, ambient music is bad. It is just so boring to listen to, and I don't like it. Alright? Moving on, ambient music is kind of bad. And finally, music of Africa, also known as a pretty good music genre. Now, I actually kind of like African music. It's pretty good. Not something I would listen to on my own time, but I actually think it's really good. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It's a good music genre and it's fun. So yeah, it gets my rating of good.